Well, hi. Today is Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. We have been bringing you highlights and updates from the area high schools, talking about the fall sports season that is just around the corner. Friday's show, it was Luke Peterson at TJ. And then yesterday, we brought you Jim Dermody from AL. Today, we head over to Lewis Central to talk with Jim Dermody, the activities director there. Talk to him about all of the success that Lewis Central has seen, some of the construction that's been going on at the school, the excitement that they have with the new school year. All of that is straight ahead here on Morning Coffee. Also, State Fair is still in full swing. I'm planning on heading over there tomorrow to go take in all the activities, and I've been doing a little studying on some of the different foods to try. It's fairly easy. You go online, and because I looked up that online, went to the State Fair website, looked up the new food, and now suddenly all my feed online is filled with video shorts of people doing food reviews from the Iowa State Fair. A dozen different ones. That I don't think you can walk around the corner without seeing somebody filming a food review while you're on the fairground. So just keep that in mind when you go. I think it's kind of cool that we can get updates like that and all of the different opinions about how great the State Fair food is in Des Moines. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm not going to be doing food updates. There's enough people doing that. You've got enough of that going around. But I will take a few pictures and fill you in on everything coming up later on this week. Do you or does someone you love need in-home care? Home Care Advocacy Network can help you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place is really critical for a lot of people. Home Care Advocacy Network can meet those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. hcan.com/Southwest Iowa is the website. And also, technology should work for you, not against you. At ThinkSpace IT, they provide IT solutions. Keeps your business running smoothly and securely. Cybersecurity, cloud services, network management, tech support, they're going to simplify IT so you can focus on what matters most. Stay protected, stay connected, stay ahead. Visit ThinkSpaceIT.com. And if you need precision metal fabrication done right, Foxco Fabrication in Council Bluffs is the place to go, bringing your ideas to life with expert craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. Do you have an idea for a new sign in your man cave? You know that they can help you right there at Foxco Fabrication. The website, foxcofab.com. Continuing with the fall sports preview, we have activities director at Lewis Central High School in Council Bluffs, Jim Dermody, joining us this morning. Thank you, sir. Grateful for your time. And also, there's an excitement going into a school year that doesn't exist at any other time of the year. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Fall can, just obviously getting kids back. And we, particularly this year, we've had a ton of construction going on at our district, and that's always a challenge throughout the summer, but it's great because the updates were needed, and so just a lot of excitement, just like every other year, and we have football camp starting this week, and girls tennis moved to the fall. That practice started this week, and so just really excited to get back.
I did one of the previous times that I was driving by, I saw the parking lot was all being redone over there. So yeah, there's a lot of improvements and updates happening at Lewis Central.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. It was a challenge a little bit maneuvering all that during the summer, but we're getting kind of see some light at the end of the tunnel and excited to get kids back.
Well, let's talk about the different sports seasons that are coming up. And obviously, we mentioned it in other shows too, that football's the flagship. I mean, that's reality of what it is. And Lewis Central has had such a tradition of success lately that that in itself creates a huge buzz going into a season.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. We, just going back to, the last few football coaches we've had have just done a nice job of just continuing to build. And Justin Cam right here right now has just done a tremendous job building our program. And what a lot of people don't know, I think people at Lewis Central know, but people on the outside don't know, like we will have starting this week as well, we have a youth football program that he is a big part of and has been a big part of developing, and hundreds of kids in this program. And a lot of them, they practice on campus here in the summer. And so you just would not believe the number of kids just running around and on our grounds every night, starting first week in August. So it's a lot of fun. It's just rewarding to see that it's, so much hard work gets put in by not only him as a head coach, but the people that run the organization, so many parent volunteers that coach. And it takes a lot of people for that to get to the level that we're at right now with youth football. And so it's fun to see that success. And so here we are with another football season. And like you said, we've been pretty fortunate to have a lot of success. And we talked about it the other day. I was just talking to him after the first couple of days of camp, and he's mentioning some names that, I know the kid, but I hadn't really heard of them from a football perspective. And that's the fun part is they've been in our program. They played youth football with us and just continue to be part of the program. And now it's their time. So excited about another year. I think we have a chance to have another really good year.
That's part of the excitement coming in too, is that who is going to be stepping up as new leaders in the student body, because as the seniors graduating last year, you lose a lot of them, but there's always new ones coming in behind. And I know that sometimes you recognize them early, and other times you don't see it till they have the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And we were actually talking about that with our offensive and defensive line. Those are sometimes the kids you don't always know because that's that physical part of the game where sometimes it takes kids till their junior or even their senior year to be ready to play on the front line on the offensive and defensive line. And we just kind of talked about that. He said that maybe is a little bit of a question mark coming in as some of the depth issues. Felt like we have some sophomores that maybe are ready, but you don't know for sure. Are they physically ready? Are they ready, mentally ready for the game? So that depth on the offensive and defensive line, I think Coach Camrad would tell you is right now is one of the question marks. We have 3 offensive linemen coming back. They're really, really good, big, strong kids that all played last year. So pretty confident we know what we have in those guys, and a couple other kids that are older now. Those are those seniors that have been in the program for 4 years. Physically, we know they're ready. They've been through it all. So I think he felt pretty good about, who we're going to run out there as starters in week 1. As long as they stay healthy, it's the guys behind them. What are we going to get from, your sophomores that have gone from maybe 185 as a freshman, they might be 210 now, are they ready to go? So I think that's the fun part of it for our coaching staff. And for me, Coach Hoke is our offensive coordinator, and, was Division I offensive lineman and played in the NFL. And he does such a tremendous job that we just kind of think we're a little bit spoiled because we don't realize how we're lucky we are to have guys like him and some of our other assistants. Like Coach Hoke he'll have some linemen ready to go. And every year that's been true. And we expect it to be true this year.
And plus, it just seems that year in and year out, even when they redistrict, Lewis Central gets dropped into one of the toughest districts in the class every year. And there's such solid teams from top to bottom that you got to bring your A game every time, because nothing is a gimme.
No. And the way scheduling works in the state is we play 4 non-district games and 5 district games. And your non-district, you have a little bit of control over that if you can get people to agree to play with you, but that's kind of a challenge. The way we've been, people are like, not Lewis Central's not a team we want on our schedule earlier in the year, and credit to our guys for getting our program in that position, but it can be tough. So it seems like we put teams on a list that we would like to play, and everybody gets to do that, and there are a number of teams across the state that are similar that people expect them to be pretty good. And so those teams that nobody really want to play end up playing each other. So here we are. I think this is probably 3rd time in the last 6. We start out the year defending state champ. We play North Polk week 1. They're defending state champs. We were state champs the year before. So they're your last 2 4A state champions week 1 at our place. So, we'll find out right away where we're at.
Yeah, and that's going to be a crowd. There's going to be so many people at that game. And there'll be a lot of folks coming over from the Des Moines area to take in that one, too. I mean, because it's just such an easy drive. I wanted to ask you, though, about scheduling some of those non-district games. Because of our proximity, I mean, we are all the way on the west side of the state. Do you factor in when you're trying and the coaches are trying to come up with who your requests are, proximity as to how far that road trip is going to be, because it's, not only because playing in an upper class, you have to travel farther, but also because of just where we're located in the state. I mean, you're not going west, you're going east to play a team in Iowa.
It's a challenge. And we know as a 4A school, there aren't a lot of 4As, in close proximity to us. So the ones that are, we know they're probably going to be in our district. So then when you're trying to find non-district games, and you can go outside of your class, and the Harlan game has always been traditionally been a great game for us to play. And they moved down, and they're in a class below us now. And so, they're changing a little bit. We're playing them this year. I know that they were looking to maybe move in a different direction, but the state did schedule us with Harlan. So, I guess we've expressed to the state a couple different times that, Harlan and AL are two games or two teams that we really would love to play early in the year, because of, just like you said, that's 1 week where we know we're not going 2 hours.
Right.
So from a gate perspective, that makes a difference. Obviously, from a travel perspective, that makes a difference. So we're playing Harlan again this year, and that's the one non-district where you're not going an hour and a half to 2 hours. So yeah, it's hard, because we know that in our area, like you said, because where we sit, there just aren't a lot of options for us to play non-district. So we're pretty sure that when that comes out, that we're going to either Des Moines a couple times, or we're going to Sioux City a couple times. That's just the way that it is.
Let's talk about some of the other sports. And as you mentioned, girls tennis being moved to the fall this year. So returning athletes, they were just playing not that long ago, and now they're coming back for another season. What's been the reception of that with the athletes and with the coaches about that quick turnaround?
Yeah. So, first off, we have a new head coach, Allie Bergson. She's a Lewis Central grad. She's a really good tennis player here, and has stayed kind of working in the game as a clinician and stuff. And so that was the first challenge, because they moved it to the fall, and we start so early. Much of what we do of the schedule is during the day. So they kick off today. They're on their way going to Carroll Kemper, and the first match is at 9 a.m. Because of the heat, and you're doing more triangulars and quads. And so that was the first challenge. Is our old coach, who did a tremendous job, Aaron Rodenberg, wasn't able to make this work with his job because it's so during the day. So that was the first challenge right there. But I think ultimately, when you look at it big picture, it's better for kids. Your kids that are serious about tennis or playing tennis all summer long, they come in and they're ready to go. Versus in the spring, the first month of the season, there are times out there they're trying to play tennis and it's 45 degrees and the wind chill's low 30s. Sometimes there were some miserable tennis days out there. So the weather's a little bit better. We're going to deal with the heat today, but I think there's some excitement there that just your weather's better. It's a lot more fun for the kids to be outside. So we lost a lot. We lost a lot of seniors last year. So we're replacing, quite a few. So we're going to be a lot of kids get some opportunities. I know our coaches talked a couple girls that were we were kind of the girls that we counted on our volleyball players, or cross country. So we lost a little bit of that where, it was just kind of last year, if you had a girl that was a soccer player or ran track, now they can go out for tennis now because they couldn't in the spring, or it was a challenge at least to do both. So, we'll see how it goes. We haven't really kind of, like I said, our first game is today. We haven't really gotten into it. Number wise, we're still pretty good shape. We're in the 20s for numbers, which is a really healthy number. So that continued to be good. So we'll see how it goes. I think there's a lot of excitement that just in the fall that it's just a better fit for tennis.
So the multi-sport athlete, little bit of an issue, but also picking up some new ones because, as you said, now not playing in the spring, some would transfer over and now can absorb and get into tennis. So kind of a wash then, do you think, as far as interest in numbers go?
So. Yeah, I don't. We kind of talked about it. So soccer is one of those sports where it feels like club has a huge effect in soccer. Most kids that are serious about soccer play club, and so they're year round kids. and we'd love to get some of those girls out for tennis. Obviously soccer girls are, they can run around, they move, they're athletic, and we'd love to get some of those girls out for tennis and just have them playing another sport. So, we'll kind of see what we can do there. But yeah, you're a volleyball girl or you're a cross country girl. Unfortunately, tennis is not there for you. But in the other token, your soccer girls, your track kids that don't do anything in the fall, we'll gain them. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be a wash. But we'll see how it goes.
Well, you talked about volleyball there and mentioned that. So obviously, traditional success with the volleyball team. Lewis Central's always strong playing on the court. So what's the vibe this year? What do you expect?
Yeah, I think we feel really good about what we have coming back. We had a couple of freshmen that started last year. They're a year older, and they'll be back. We have Aubrey Davis. I don't know if you know Aubrey, but Aubrey moved in and had a phenomenal softball season and is just an incredible athlete. And we know that volleyball is one of her big sports too. So it'll be fun having her this year. And Mallory Wohler is another senior that played a significant role last year, back this year. So I think just like every year we have good pieces coming back. It'll be, who are the couple of the young girls that grew over the year and are going to be better this year. And so, I think Coach Bond feels really good about what we have.
And then cross country, just getting that going again.
Yeah, we actually some excitement with the cross country. Coach Taylor May. He had run both the girls and boys programs for the last 6 or more years. And that was getting to be a challenge because sometimes when you do a really good job, like Coach May did, and you get your numbers up there, sometimes now you have a challenge. And he felt like it was just becoming really hard for him to give the girls and the boys as much attention as they needed. So we split that up and hired a separate girls cross country coach. He's staying on the boys side. So we hired Tracy Stoop. Tracy came to us last year as a teacher from AL, had some experience as a head cross country and a track coach at AL. So really excited to have her running the girls program. Have a couple girls that had a really good year last year. And from what I understand, have had a phenomenal summer. Madeline Haas and Delaney Reese are both back and had great track seasons for us. So I know the girls are really excited. A couple of younger girls that are back that have put in a lot of time, and Kate Strohmeyer back, who will be one of our veteran runners. So I know that they feel like they've got a good handful of girls that are going to make us pretty competitive there. And it sounds like they had a really, really good summer. Boys the same way. We have Kevin Coots and Evan Lilly were both in the 4A state meet last year, and they're back. A transfer student from St. Albert that really good runners, going to add to our depth, and Carter Lobaugh, Baron Strop. We have a lot of pieces there for cross country. So I think they're really excited. We're up in 4A now, so it changes the game a little bit.
Right.
When we go to districts, last year we had Dowling in our district, and they have an incredible program and just the depth that they have. So from a postseason perspective, that just changes the game a little bit. 4A is very different than 3A. But cross country, I think they're gonna have a really good season.
Yeah, it's cross country is one of those things that you think, well, you just go out and run as hard as you can, and that's all there is to it. It's not.
Right.
There's actually who you're running against and the different schools and the different programs. It all factors in, and you can actually for fans of the sport, you see the strategy that's involved with that. That from the layman standpoint, okay, we'll just run as hard as we can. But no, there's so much more to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they do a lot in the summer to try to get kids ready for, here's how we're going to finish. I think one of the emphasis for Coach May this summer and a couple of our kids, boys and girls, I think that getting in the weight room and getting a little bit stronger was important. And I think we had a really good summer from that perspective for our cross country kids. So yeah, you're right. I mean, I've never been a cross country guy, never been a distance runner, but I know Coach May and Coach Stoop, they work well together, and they'll have our kids ready to go. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, and swimming, of course, Lewis Central with the swim team and in cooperation with some other schools putting that team together. So that's another thing that not every school has that program. So there's more involved in travel and that kind of thing in order to put the meets together.
Yeah, for sure. Swimming can be, it's a real challenge. I mean, we're lucky. Bruce Schomburg, I'm sure you know, Coach Schomburg, kind of a legend in our area, had been around for, I think last year he was awarded 50 years in coaching swimming in the state of Iowa. So we have pretty experienced presence there. Really excited. So one of his former swimmers was Mackenzie Leahy. Mackenzie Liston now, she's the head coach at Iowa Western, and they use our pool as well. So we brought her on as an assistant coach. She obviously, Iowa Western's her main priority, but she's there in a pool a lot. And so just another very experienced, very high level swimmer that can help, develop our kids. We had a very young team last year that really came on at the end of the year. Had a couple girls that placed at state freshmen last year, and they're back. Our numbers are up, I think probably going to be up over 20. So really excited about swimming. I think they're going to have a chance to be really good. Swimming is hard. So a lot of people don't know in Iowa, we split our swimming. So in the fall is girls swimming, in the winter is boys swimming. Nebraska, they do boys and girls swimming together in the winter. So that creates a real challenge for us from a scheduling standpoint for girls in the fall. We just, Lewis Central, Sioux City has similar to what we have. They have, one team in Sioux City. So all the schools in Sioux City, the surrounding schools. So they're always pretty strong. They have good numbers. Carroll has a team, and Atlantic has a team, and Atlantic's numbers are typically fairly low, but that's it. So when we go to schedule, we're going to Des Moines, we travel a lot. So that's a little bit of a challenge for girls. Boys, we don't hardly leave the Des Moines or the Omaha area because we have all the Omaha schools there. So that's a challenge. But yeah, we're excited about that. Girls are I think are going to be really, really good.
Yeah. And it just, success breeds success. I've seen it in multiple schools and all across the region that when you see one sport start to do well, it kind of creates an atmosphere inside of the building and inside of the school walls that everybody just starts to focus a little more, and everything starts to rise all at the same time. And you leading the charge there, and with all of the coaches and the athletes and everything else that you have in place, things are going very, very well for Lewis Central, and it's good to see, and it's good representative for the community.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Work with a lot of really good coaches, a lot of dedicated coaches. Just talking to our boys golf. Boys golf's in the fall now. Another change. Last year was the first year for that. We moved to 4A, and I know they talked about a couple kids that had put in a good summer, and they're a little bit they're excited about that. And kind of similar to tennis, we were glad to make that move to the fall for boys golf. I wish girls would too, because same thing. We have our kids that play golf in the spring, and they go through some miserable weather days trying to play golf in the spring. And now in the summer, again, you're a serious golfer, has been golfing all summer long. Your courses are in nice shape. The weather is so much better. So that's another sport where, I'm just proud of what we have in place from a coaching perspective. This place there are days if you drive into Lewis Central in the summer, you'd think school is going on, because there's so many kids here in the summer working to get better, and just spending that time with teammates, from a team perspective, trying to get better and get ready for the season. And so just a lot of dedicated kids, a lot of dedicated coaches, and our community embraces that. And I would say we ask a lot. We ask a lot of our kids. If you want to be successful, this is what it takes, and our community embraces that. And so I just feel fortunate that I get to be a part of it, and get to help lead it, and be here as a resource for our coaches and kids.
Yeah. Speaking of boys golf, I had a chance to play in a golf tournament last week, in a Spirit of Courage tournament, and I looked over, and there's Lewis Central alumni and NFL veteran now, Caleb Shudak.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, there's your winning team. He was playing with a foursome that was lined up just behind me. And I thought, I've heard about his golf game. So
yeah, I've never seen Caleb golf, but I'm sure if he golfs like he did everything else, I'm sure he's probably pretty good out there.
Yeah, he was doing okay. And all the guys are saying, we're just not even pulling our driver out. We're just going to let him take care of that. But again, thank you very much, Jim, for everything, and for your willingness to jump on the program with me. love to have you back anytime. You got anything coming up or anything to talk about, we'd love to be able to help you get that word out. So, and congratulations on everything so far. It's exciting coming into a new season. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Yep. Yeah, thank you, Todd. We appreciate the time.
Boy, isn't that first football game of the season going to be a lot of fun, and at Lewis Central. So get out there and pack the stadium. Just Sue Creative can help you build your business with website design, search engine optimization, content creation, marketing, everything you need to take your company to the next level. Sue Pitts has a passion for small businesses, helping them thrive in this digital world. Great starting point. Go to her website, justsuecreative.com. When you go there, first take a look around because she built her own site, and yours could be just as streamlined and as easy to follow. I'm a big fan of what she has done with justsuecreative.com. And while you're on the website, you'll see a button. It says free consultation. You click on that, pick a time that she has free in her schedule, and just like that, you're sitting down with Sue Pitts to find out what she can do for your business. Again, justsuecreative.com. Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it can be hard to get back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke. You may also be left with all sorts of questions about how to get your home or business back to normal. Service Master Restore by Schmader will restore your space by offering quality commercial and residential restoration services in Council Bluffs and the surrounding area. That's Service Master Restore by Schmader. Again, thank you to Jim Dermody, Activities Director at Lewis Central, for joining us today. Tomorrow, we are going to head over to St. Albert and talk with a very, very successful basketball coach and recent Activities Director there, Tim Cannon. Tim took over last year, and great guy. I really enjoyed a conversation with him. That is coming your way tomorrow. And that is going to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of things. I'm looking forward to the State Fair tomorrow. But in the meantime, you know that we still have more shows to bring you this week. I'm Todd Studer. I hope you have a great day.